What's good, you guys? You know who it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left this mother. Yes, Sirsky. Hello, somebody. All right, so you guys, man, we got Chris Brown going crazy because Karrueche is dating primetime Deion Sanders, bro. Primetime. Karrueche went and got her a sugar daddy on the low because I didn't know anything about primetime and Karrueche. I'm pretty sure Chris feels some type of way about this. Like, dang, you went that old? But it's prime time. Prime time said, yo, bro, I want Karrueche. I think he met Karrueche through a mutual friend, if I'm not mistaken. That's the only thing I heard about the situation. But we're about to see. Spicy.
Chris Brown is losing it again, y'all. Looks like he just can't handle the fact that Karrueche has officially moved on, and not just with anybody, but with Deion Primetime Sanders.
Primetime?
The drama. Ever since pics of Karrueche and Deion looking all cozy popped up, the streets have been talking, and let's just say, Chris is not taking it well. So word on the block is, Karrueche Tran and Deion Sanders got the blogs on fire after blogger Dumois spilled that they were spotted holding hands at Nick and Steph's restaurant. Now, for those who might not know, Karrueche is that girl, an Emmy-winning actress, model, and TV host.
We do, right?
Yes, I believe so. I think we have to, well, I get one and then everyone else has to order theirs.
She's best known for playing Vivian Johnson on The Bay, which even won her a Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress. And as for Deion Sanders, well, he's not just any former football player, he's a whole legend and the current head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. Back in his playing days, he was a star cornerback for the Florida State Seminoles. Now, according to Media Takeout, these two were introduced by Deion's co-host Rosie Diaz, who also happens to be tight with Karrueche. Neither of them has said a word about the dating rumors yet, but folks are convinced it's more than just a friendship. And whew, let's talk about that age gap. Karrueche is 36 and Deion is 57. That's over 20 years.
That's a big age gap. But hey, at least they ain't doing what Diddy and Jay-Z doing. I mean, that's a big gap, but hey, she's in her prime, and his name is Prime Time.
A lot of people feel a way about it.
Bro, it
and
goes
to make
together.
things even spicier, some fans think Deion isn't exactly the best relationship guy. I mean, he's got 5 kids by 2 different women, and neither of those relationships worked out. But the real tea? Chris Brown is out here spiraling over this. Allegedly, he's losing his mind because he finally realized he fumbled a good one, and there's no getting her back. Mind you, he and Karrueche broke up almost a decade ago because he couldn't keep it in his pants. He kept embarrassing her, playing in her face, and just making her look crazy. And now, tables have turned and he's the one stuck in his feelings. Other artists even use Karrueche's name to poke at him because they know it gets under his skin. Remember that little rap beef Chris and Quavo had last year? Chris fired first on his song Freak from his 11/11 album, rapping, "My old bees ain't gonna make us equal sipping that 1942, cause I don't do no quo." He was clearly salty about Quavo and Karrueche linking up, and it was obvious he was still pressed. But Quavo wasn't about to let that slide. He clapped back hard on his diss track Tender, dragging Chris for his past and basically calling him a cokehead. He even bragged about Karrueche moving on, rapping, "You did the B wrong, now the B gone. She posted with a thug, call the B phone, she won't come home. Don't beat her up, it must be the need to cross out your plug." That was
I remember that.
And
that
let's
was
be real,
crazy.
Quavo didn't lie. Around the time Karrueche and Chris finally called it quits for good, there were heavy rumors about Chris putting his hands on her on top of all the other nonsense he put her through. For some background, Karrueche and Chris first got together in 2011 after meeting at one of her styling gigs. They had already been friends for a minute, but they kept their relationship low-key at first, since Chris was still in the middle of cleaning up his 2009 scandal with Rihanna. Yeah, that one, when he put hands on her and left her bruised up. Anyway, by March of that year, Karrueche was officially on his arm at every event, standing by his side while he pushed his album FAME. Everything was cool between Chris and Karrueche until 2012. Then Rihanna popped back into the picture, and things got messy real quick. In February, they dropped some spicy remixes. Rihanna hopped on Chris's Turn Up the Music, and he returned the favor on her Birthday Cake remix. But the real tea was that Chris was spotted at Rihanna's 24th birthday party that same month, and folks started speculating that they were rekindling their old flame. Then, the drama really kicked off. Rihanna and Karrueche found themselves in a Twitter back and forth, with Ree calling Karrueche rice cakes, a not-so-subtle jab that referenced
not rice
birthday
cakes.
cake. A few weeks later,
Not
things
rice
got
cakes,
even
bro.
wilder when Chris got into that infamous NYC club fight with Drake. This was during Nayo's manager's birthday celebration, and let's just say bottles were flying. Chris ended up with a big gash on his chin, and multiple people got hurt bad enough to need hospital treatment. After all that, Chris went and threw shade at Rihanna on a remix of Kanye's Way Too Cold, rapping, "Don't f with my old BH. It's like a bad fur every industry done had her. Y'all, the shade." Rihanna caught that real quick and unfollowed him on Twitter. But Chris tried to backtrack like, "I ain't say no names. So if you feel some type of way, that's on you." Now, while Chris was out here making a fool of himself, he was still with Karrueche. And oh, it got worse. In August 2012, Rihanna did that emotional sit-down with Oprah, talking about how she still loved Chris and how they rebuilt their friendship.
Where does your relationship with him stand today? You know, you can't believe what you read. What do you want the world to know about your relationship with him?
We've been working on our friendship again, and now we're very, very close friends. We built a trust again, and that's it. Like, we love each other, and we probably always will. And that's not anything that we're gonna try to change. It's not something you can shut off if you've ever been in love.
But at this point, Karrueche...
I agree, though. You know, even though the thing that happened between Chris and Rihanna was terrible. It was a terrible act on both behalves. Once you love somebody, man, it don't mean you have to be with that person, but once you really love somebody genuinely, it's hard to turn off that love in some cases, bro. And I think they both blamed themselves for that night that happened in the car when they got into the altercation. And they realized that they see how things that could have been avoided. And if that would have never happened, they probably would have still been together, making tons of money together. I always thought they was a pretty good couple until that altercation took place. But hey, life goes on, but at least they are friends now.
She was seeing the writing on the wall. She even tweeted, "If you don't have trust, you don't have anything."
It's pretty gangster, right? Here, you try it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Sometimes I eat my feelings and I blame it on my therapist.
Then, the moment that sealed the deal. Chris kissed Rihanna on live TV at the 2012 MTV VMAs in front of everybody. Mind you, he was still with Karrueche. A month later, Rihanna was publicly supporting him on Twitter, even calling him baby when he went to court for failing a test. From then on, Chris and Rihanna were everywhere together, looking real cozy, while Karrueche was left looking like a clown. And as if that wasn't humiliating enough, Chris was the one who ended things with Karrueche. He hit her with that, "I love you, but I don't want to see you hurt over my friendship with Rihanna" speech. But let's be real, he wasn't trying to take Riri seriously either. By 2013, he and Rihanna were done. And guess what? Within a month, Chris and Karrueche were back together and living under the same roof. It was a disaster waiting to happen.
That was going back and forth like that?
It all came crashing down when Chris went to rehab and ended up hooking up with a staff member. That little stunt got him thrown back in jail, and Karrueche finally left him. But plot twist, she couldn't stay away. By July 2014, she was back supporting him in court. And later that year, she even got real emotional about the whole love triangle mess during her sit-down with Keke Palmer on Just Keke.
Just keeping a level head and positivity. I've never dated a celebrity before, so it was very new to me. Paparazzi and all that. And then even the situation with Rihanna, you know, the reason why people tuned into this so much is because it's relatable. I have girlfriends, I have family who's gone through the same situation. It's the case of the ex.
Facts.
We all go through it.
Everybody
you know what
goes
I'm
through
saying?
Now that's facts right there.
However, thank you. In this case, my boyfriend is a celebrity whose ex-girlfriend is an even bigger, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So not only am I fighting a battle with her, I'm fighting a battle with her 14 million fans or however else. So imagine how that feels for me when I gotta get on Twitter and I gotta see a whole bunch of people stuff.
Later that year, Karrueche and Chris Brown got back together, even rocking matching Halloween costumes in October. But by November, Chris was already making a scene.
Be good. You know, like they want to be a part of that circle. So really, are your friends gonna tell you leave that?
He went off on the hosts of The Real after they questioned Karrueche's decision to stay with him. He called Adrian Balin a trout-mouthed ass and threw shade at Tamar Braxton, calling her the ugly sister.
She's good. Yeah, she's not here, but she's good.
Oh, it's amazing, man. Christmas is coming up.
Around this time, Chris also told Hot 97 that he was locked in with Karrueche for life and even planned to marry her one day. So you can imagine how shocked fans were when he suddenly announced their breakup at Power 106's Cali Christmas concert. He bluntly told the crowd, "I'm single." That fans were confused. Wasn't she just the love of his life?
That's what I was thinking.
Happened? Well, Chris later claimed on Instagram that he broke things off because Karrueche wasn't loyal to him while he was locked up. He said, "I was locked up for damn near 4 months and only got one visit from you while you were out hosting parties, taking secret trips to Toronto and going on dates with Drake." Of course, both Drake and Karrueche denied this, but people quickly pointed out the hypocrisy. Chris had done the same thing to Karrueche with Rihanna, and now he couldn't handle a taste of his own medicine. Despite all the drama, Karrueche and Chris got back together again. But little did she know, she was about to experience the most heartbreaking and embarrassing moment of her life. Chris announced on Instagram that he had a daughter, Royalty, with model Nia Guzman. And guess what? Karrueche found out the same way the rest of us did, on Instagram. That was the final straw. She ended things for good, tweeting, "Listen, one can only take so much. Best of luck to Chris and his family. No baby drama for me." Karrueche moved on, focused on her career, and casually dated. But Chris, he couldn't let go. Every time she was spotted with a new man, he would start drama. In 2015, he told Ryan Seacrest he was accepting his mistakes and taking responsibility. But that didn't last long. He started attacking Karrueche for speaking about their relationship in interviews. And she clapped back, "I'm not speaking on you or bashing you like I easily could. Don't be mad at me because our relationship ended due to your lack of loyalty. You know what's weak? You forcing yourself into my car, my broken window, blowing up my phone, and trying to shower me with gifts. Man the up and change the bullst in your life like I've told you several times." Chris then tried to play it cool, responding, "I'm eternally thankful for you being part of my life. I've learned so much from you. I wish you nothing but happiness." Yeah, that didn't last. Chris started stalking Karrueche, demanding she return the diamond rings he had gifted her. When she refused, he allegedly started threatening her, saying he'd make her life hell and even harm her and her loved ones. In 2015, Karrueche filed for a restraining order, telling the court that Chris had threatened to kill her if he couldn't have her. She also revealed that years prior, he had punched her in the stomach twice and pushed her down the stairs. Fast forward to 2023, and Chris was still lurking. The moment the 5-year restraining order expired, he was right back in her comments, liking her pictures. When Karrueche posted stunning photos from a gold party, Chris was right there, thirsting after her. And let's not forget that petty stunt he pulled during his beef with Quavo, which we covered earlier. Oh, and get this, Chris even made a song called Residuals, which fans believe is about Karrueche. Every time he performs it, he wears or ties a red bandana to the mic. Something fans think is a nod to the welcome home from jail party Karrueche threw for him in 2014, where she blindfolded him with a red bandana. Now, people are saying Chris might have another meltdown over Karrueche's new man. So far, people are side-eyeing this relationship and saying that it shouldn't be a thing. People online are writing stuff like, "This level of foolish desperation is absolutely absurd. Coach Prime knows Sir Hell she's his daughter age no see." And another person said, "Deion, please leave them little girls alone. Don't look stupid like the rest of these old men." But what do you all think about this relationship? Also, is Chris doing too much? Drop your thoughts.
Wow, bro. Bro, I don't see nothing wrong with it besides the fact that he have a daughter her age, bro. Now that's crazy because if they hit it off like really tough, what should like the kids call Karrueche? They can't call her stepmom. They're gonna call her Miss Karrueche. How would they respect her knowing that they might be her age or even older maybe? Let's say what, she's 36, 35, 36 or something like that. That's crazy. I mean, they're both legal, of course, way over the legal age. But to have somebody my daughter age, I don't know, bro. That'll feel kind of awkward. That'll feel kind of awkward, bro. What type of conversations will the stepmom and the daughter have? The stepmom and the stepdaughter. What type of conversations will they have knowing that they're in the same age bracket? How could the stepdaughter talk about men to her stepmom, who's been with Chris Brown back and forth between Chris Brown, even when he was going through things with Rihanna, and it's public. Everybody knows. Like, why would they take information from their supposedly one-day stepmom when she was out here going back and forth with somebody that she knew that was doing her wrong? That's crazy. I don't know how that would work.